I think many people kind of realize on Friday that perps may not always be the strongest or safest instrument. I think, yeah, I mean, part of the story of Friday is learning about counterparty risk and exchange risk. So, for instance, I mean, we saw a lot of people get liquidated on the long side, but then on the short side, once ADL kicked in to secure exchanges solvencies, many people's short positions also got closed. Oftentimes, at PNLs much lower than they would have expected. I think this has the potential to have realized pretty significant losses for funds running long, short strategies, funds running like delta neutral strategies. Market makers like GSR, we run like delta neutral strategies, but we're not only using perps. So, I mean, fortunately for us, we were not majorly affected, but it can be the case that other kind of big funds might have been.
I've been in crypto over a decade, since 2015. And I have a lot of friends running liquid funds, and also some of they are traders, either on the CEX or the sort of perp DEX. So right after this kind of crash, I had a bunch of calls with them. Some of them got hit. The thing is, like, as Stephen just mentioned, right? The thing is, like, previously people feel like perp is super useful, and they do hedging, like sort of the longs, these kind of altcoins, and do short. The long like sort of Bitcoin and do short on altcoins. For example, long on Bitcoin and short on Dogecoin. But during the crash, due to the ADL, their short position was forced to close. So in that case, there are no more like sort of hedge, and due to whatever reason, glitches of the server, whatever, right? You couldn't put bids on time. So that's sort of like basically during the crash, any hedge no longer working. So what you can do at that time, like basically try to hold all assets in spot. So that's why a lot of my friends after this kind of crash, they told me that don't use perp for hedging anymore. Because like another issue is still back to the Oracle issue. A lot of these CX, DX, they are using the spot price as a mark price. So as Ram mentioned, right, there's basically no liquidity during the crash, and you can easily manipulate the spot price. Further liquidation from the other collaterals, whatever, it further drop that sort of the mark price for perp. So in that case, like, you can't do hedge, and you can only hold that sort of the assets. Beyond that, it's like based on their feedback, right? Another thing they mention is like, so basically the liquidity or the spreads on like sort of CX or DX is not trustworthy. As Rajan mentioned, right, you can have some phantom or ghost like sort of spreads, and once there was a crash happening, right, it's basically all liquidity withdrawn. And like one thing like probably we can trust is the AMM, because most of the LPs on chain, and you can't, like, sometimes like the chain like sort of got stuck, right? You couldn't really withdraw the asset immediately, so the liquidity just stick there. But in general, I just feel like the main issue is still like we need more this kind of liquidity around this kind of crash. Of course, it's super risky, but like I just feel like it's if we don't have enough liquidity, like basically around this kind of crash, there's so many places can be manipulated.